Okay, good. I'll call the meeting of the Town of East Windsor Planning and Zoning Commission to order. It's Tuesday, April 12th. It's meeting 1824. Welcome to all who joined us. Our first order of business is to establish a quorum. And we have a quorum with all our regular members present and our alternate. Do we have any added agenda items?
We do. We have two. One is PZ 2022-4, 18 Griffin Road. Mario Costa is requesting to establish a dog kennel. And PZ,
Is that just a receipt of an application? or-
both of these are receipt. PZ 2022-05, 49 South Main Street, Wynwood Apartments. They're seeking a site plan approval for the construction of an accessory mail kiosk with a pickup drop-off area for the apartments.
We have two new applications that we should acknowledge receipt of under receipt of applications. Do we need a motion to list them, or can we just take it up under receipt of applications? Comfortable just taking it up?
Procedure to do the motion?
You've done it both ways, so I think if you wanted to say
I'll-
you're adding it.
I'll make a motion that we add PZ 2022-4 and PZ 22-5 to our agenda under receipt of applications.
Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous, Craig. We will take both those new applications up under receipt of application. Under legal notices, the legal notice we have is for the Walmart. And we'll be putting that on the record in the public hearing, but we can read it into the record now too. So our legal notice that ran on February 11th and February 25th, 2022 in the Journal Enquirer states, the East Windsor Planning and Zoning Commission will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, March 8th at 6:30 p.m. Details regarding how to attend will be published on the commission's agenda and will be made available on the town website. The application is PZ 2022-1. The applicant is Walmart, 44 Prospect Hill Road, who proposes to construct a grocery pickup expansion and is requesting reduction of the bulk parking requirements previously approved under a general development plan. Map 92, block 17, lot 30, the zone is M1. A full copy of the application is available on the Planning and Zoning Commission's webpage on the town website. All interested persons may attend this meeting and provide verbal or written comments to the board regarding this application. Public participation. I'll ask if there's anybody in attendance, either in the room or on Zoom, who wants to raise something that is not listed on the agenda. Is there anybody? Okay, I think there's nobody who wants to add anything under public participation. That takes us to approval of minutes. We have the minutes in our package from the March 22nd, 22 regular meeting. And I will not be voting on them. So David, could you vote on
Of course.
the minutes? Thank you. Are there any comments or discussion people want to have on the minutes? Okay. Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion, we approve the regular meeting minutes of meeting 1823 held on March 22nd, 2022 as presented.
Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Seconded by Frank. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous, and I did not vote because I was not present.
Excuse me.
Receipt of applications. We have 2 applications that came in. PZ 2022-4 for 18 Griffin Road. Mario Costa is requesting to establish a dog kennel. And PZ 2022-5, 49 South Main Street, Wynwood Apartments would like to construct an accessory mail kiosk with pickup, drop and drop off area to an existing residential use. Those are the 2 new applications. Do we need a motion to accept the applications? Okay.
You want them separate? So I'll make a motion that we receive applications PZ 2022-4 and application PZ 2022-5.
Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. Performance bonds, actions, permit extensions, and road acceptance. We have a request from the town of East Windsor to extend the required 90-day filing period for Mylars associated with the town road subdivision. You wanna?
Sure. So you recall the subdivision and the bounty of variances in order to transfer property to the homeowners in that subdivision from the town to the homeowners. We have been working on easement for the sewer. And so that's been the delay, is getting that information together. So we need a little more time before we can include them on the Mylar, so that they point back to land records.
Okay, so do you need a motion accepting the request to extend the required 90-day filing period, and how long would we extend it?
So I'm requesting, yes, if I can motion it, yes, 30 days, 30-day extension to May 22nd.
Okay, good.
Think that's adequate or you want
27.
Hmm.
I don't think Art meets until the 27th. This board.
And you could run into something with lawyers, so you might as well, there's a potential to need more time instead of taking it up twice.
60 days.
Just say either
Like
60
60
days or
days?
just say June 1st. Really,
What would you like?
60-day extension, and then I'll figure it out.
Okay, any other discussion on this? Okay, could we get a motion to extend the 90-day filing period for the Mylars for 60 days?
I'll make a motion that we approve a 60-day extension for the filing of Mylars of the South and Phelps Road subdivision.
Is there a second to that motion? Seconded by Frank. All those in, discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that's unanimous. Under continued public hearings, we do not have anything. So that brings us to our new public hearing, which is the application from Walmart. And so everybody understands how this works. My name is Ann Gobin. I'm the chair of the commission. And this meeting is being held both over Zoom and in person. And we are going to open the public hearing and accept public comments. During the public hearing, we'll put the public notice and the documents we have on the record. And the commission will have an opportunity to ask questions. And then we'll ask the public for their input, and we'd be interested in whether you support or oppose and why. If you wish to speak, raise your hand and you'll be recognized. So after everyone's had a full opportunity to speak and the commission has all the information it feels it needs, we close the public hearing, which may or may not be tonight. And then if we are ready to move forward, we would vote on the decision as a separate action. So that's how the public hearing will work. So I'll start by making sure everybody is aware of the public notice, which was already read onto the record at the beginning of the meeting. And a copy is on the town's website. So I don't think I need to read it again. We also have an application and a set of plans dated 10/8/21. Looks like I have a great set of plans that were received March 11, 2022. We have a memo from our town planner and our consulting planner concerning this application that is on the record. And there have been some questions I've asked of town staff. Oh. Yes. Oh, and we have a letter dated March 9th, 2022 to the town of East Windsor Planning and Development Department concerning this application. And its responses to the comments. It's from WD Partners and submitted by Christian LaPointe. I hope I didn't butcher his name. So with that, I will let the applicant share what they would like to share and where things stand at this point in time. Please identify yourself for the record.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Diana Steelquist. I work for WD Partners. And if I can have a few minutes of your time or just a couple of minutes, I'd like to tell you about our project. My name is Diana Steelquist. I work for WD Partners and I represent Walmart Corporation. And we're presenting this request to amend the general development plan for the Walmart at 44 Prospect Hill Road. We're seeking your approval tonight for a 5,920 square foot addition to the store to add an online purchase pickup area. And you're probably all aware that the way people shop for goods has changed over the last few years. Not only do shoppers want the convenience, but they also require safety when they go shopping. Walmart is responding to these changes by adding specific areas where customers can stop at the store for a short amount of time and get those items that they've ordered online. And most of these people will probably not even get out of their cars. This is the second time this request has been brought before your board. Back in January, we received staff comments on the parking concerns, outdoor lighting, landscaping, and some departmental reviews. We did at that time request time to address those comments, and we're back before you this evening. Each of the staff comments have been addressed and revised with plans that have been submitted and have had no additional comments from any of your city departments. I want to add that we did receive the comments from Chairman Godin, regarding energy sustainability and the electrical vehicle charging stations. We did talk to Walmart about that. I want to point out that the existing store has a lot of solar panels on the ceiling, roof ceiling already. So we're already being very sustainable with this project. Walmart continuously evaluates their locations to look for and plan for energy upgrades. However, at this time, because of this project's tight timeline, we request that any energy discussions occur separately from this expansion project. We would like to get the contact information for Paul Farrell, which is someone that you mentioned, Ms. Groban, in your email. So I can forward that to our Walmart energy team and they can correspond. Currently, the East Windsor regulations for development don't have any requirements for EV stations for any new development. The Walmart energy team could be a really good resource for the staff planners there to evaluate regulations that you could put into your city codes so that you could get additional EV stations as part of new development along with additional solar, which I think you've just recently added some regulations for solar. It's about the only way you're going to be able to ensure that you're going to get those specific requirements put in place. I want to add that I've had a lot of municipal experience. I'm a 20-year planner, so I know how it works. And I know that if you don't ask for anything, you're not going to get anything. So I can appreciate the fact that you're thinking far ahead for your community. But at this time, we just can't provide EV stations at this site. I'd like to share my screen with y'all so you can see the site plan. Make sure you can get there. Can y'all see that?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, good, good. If you can look, you can see that this rooftop is studded with solar panels. I think Walmart's doing a really good job at providing sustainable energy to that development site. We've got your small area, 5,900 square feet there, so much of the online pickup area. You've got some parking here, which the parking, people are going to be in and out of there in 15 to 20 minutes. They're not going to be there very long. And then one of the concerns at the first meeting was making sure that we complied with the parking requirements. And so we have added 15 additional parking spaces here along the back of the property. I reviewed the staff memo. I think we've addressed everything that had comments and concerns before, and we're willing to comply with the conditions that have been laid out on the memo. If you got any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Any questions from the board?
I have one. So this is a expansion of the service that you're presently providing. It's not a new service, correct?
Yes, I believe they do have that service already, and they're just dedicating an additional 5,900 square feet for it.
And with the conversion of current parking spaces to pickup spaces, anything going to be added for traffic control? Because a lot of people have been accustomed to coming in that, I guess on this map, it would probably be southeast entrance and turning and driving up in between. And now if this is going to be a heavily walked area by your employees distributing goods to the vehicles, is there anything going to be to discourage people from pulling in that exit and try to drive around?
We'll have a directional marking on the pavement itself. We might need some signage there. but there won't be any type of bollards or curbs or anything like that. It'll still just be marked on the ground. And then we'll have the walkways marked out also in grid pattern.
That's gonna remain a two-way traffic entrance and exit.
As you can see on your plan that you gave us, there's already a trailer truck parked there. And there's many, many trailer trucks parked, taking up 4 or 5 parking spaces. And if you get 2 side by side, you can't have two-way traffic.
Well, the parking aisle widths have not changed. There's still the 24 feet, which is required for two-way parking or two-way travel. I'm sorry, not parking. So you've got that first aisleway in, it's still 24 feet wide.
Now, I had more concern about with your people now. Currently, they just use the spaces up against the building. They're not walking out into the drive aisles. Now your people are crossing the drive aisle to get to additional spaces across. I would consider maybe making that a one-way traffic, one direction of traffic rather than two-way.
Okay. We could probably make an amendment to the site plan if that's required for a one-way traffic in there. Probably, would you want something coming like from this area here, going in one way and coming out this way?
I'm making it a suggestion for the safety of your employees. If they're now going to have to be crossing across that drive aisle because the spaces up against the street curb, there are going to be spaces where customers are going to be waiting to pick up.
I think
Good.
most people, they're gonna end up parking, if they're gonna park right here,
Okay, because the
right up
previous
against the building.
showed that you were going to be adding more parking spaces for designated for pickup only on the opposite side of that drive aisle. Is that no longer?
Over
the plan?
here, there's still parking here on this side. There's parking here
Okay.
next to the building.
Are you designating those parking spaces strictly for pickup of goods? Like currently, they're marked out that those spaces are only to park there if you're there for pickup of goods.
We can make that into designated parking just for the operational pickup. These here, I think it's 7 spaces.
No, so is that, you tell me that's all you need is 7? Because the previous
No,
thing,
the additional parking that y'all requested is going here on the back. And that's just to fulfill the standard parking requirement that y'all asked us to do.
for your pickup service, how many spaces do you need designated for pickup of goods of this online?
Let me
The-
see if I can get an answer for you for that. I've got someone else on the line here. Get over.
Hi, my name is Christian Lapointe. I work with WD and I request some time to speak with Diana and to the board there.
Go ahead, Chris. Did you
Okay,
understand the
so-
question?
Yes, so on the plan we see all the spaces that are shown as lines that are double striped are considered the pickup parking that is being modified. I believe we need 38 total pickup parking stalls for current operational loads.
So they are going to be on the opposite side of that drive aisle.
Yes, they're going to be on both sides as well as in the front and as well as in that traffic island. Walmart does provide pedestrian crossing signs. They also provide training to associates for crossing traffic as well as visibility vests.
What about your employees that are bringing carts out that they're pushing out across that aisle? Do you feel a need to do some type of restriction with the traffic pattern so that they're not crossing two-way traffic?
They would already cross into two-way traffic in the existing program to deliver.
No, all the spaces now are up against the building.
Okay, so Walmart does have other locations where they have traffic on both sides of that. I can bring this as a concern to Walmart, but they do provide training for delivery in these situations where they are crossing a active traffic aisle, and there is notification signage to drivers that there is an active pedestrian crossing.
You see the length from where that turns around from that's a pretty long straight shot going all the way from the front of the building. And people exit and they're going for that exit. They achieve a pretty good rate of speed coming down through there.
Okay, so you're asking if we could look into providing some sort of traffic calming.
Right here.
Correct. I'm
That
just,
is-
I'm bringing it up as a concern for your safety of your employees.
And I
pushing the car
appreciate that.
across aisle.
Yes, and that is something I can bring to Walmart to see how they see. Typically, they try and keep the status quo of a lot of things to make as minimal of impact as they can, but we can bring that suggestion, either provide one-way traffic, which is not unheard of, or any other type of traffic calming, including additional stop bars so that traffic is going slower.
So a lot of locals try cutting through the back way through Newbury Road. Most of the general public doesn't know that. They come off the highway. But a
Okay.
lot of people through that back side of that park lot. That's what my.
That entrance is
Okay.
heavily used.
Yeah.
Heavily.
Okay.
Heavily.
Okay, I can bring this back to the civil engineer and they can look into additional traffic calming methods.
Because I would, if you actually looked at traffic study, I bet you that eastern entrance is more used than the one that you have to the west side of the drawing there. Because anybody who's coming up from the east side of town comes up Newbury Road and they pull in that first entrance, not the second one there, the double lane.
That's the way I
entrance.
go.
Yep. That entrance sees a lot of traffic.
Thank you for your input, it's much appreciated.
Thank you, Chris.
In the previous discussion we had with Chris, I think we raised a concern of, is there adequate parking given that parking lot at peak times of year, and when you have the garden center spread taking up a couple lanes of traffic. Has there been any analysis to make sure you have adequate parking overall?
So we have added the additional 15 spaces to maintain the minimum ratio required by the general development.
Park there.
So what I would like to see is, I would like to make that designated employee parking in the back. So this way you're only walking twice a day. I don't know where the employees park now, but it'd be a good idea to put it back there so you don't have a bunch of mothers pushing the carriages or kids in it,
Trying to get in.
trying to get in through your truck stop. If you designate that for employee parking, it's only getting used twice. When they come to work and they leave, or at lunchtime too, but. 'Cause right now, that extra parking is terrible, right in the truck lane coming through. And also, as Joe mentioned, there's no lighting out there either. I don't think you all have in the building or a pole light. I'm not sure. I didn't see it on the plan. Showing the photometrics.
I didn't see that.
Did you guys get all
That's
that?
the blender with the measurement.
Sorry, we do have an additional pole light over by the building, three-way, as well as the existing pole light along the green space towards the south. And there's another existing pole light that is in the parking space. Are you asking for additional lighting at the 15 parking spaces?
Yeah,
Okay.
and also about making that designated employee parking too. Not the
Okay.
general public.
All right, noted.
So are the employees parking way out back? Do they have a designated area any place, or do they just park wherever they want to park? Just curious.
I believe Walmart color codes their places where the employees can park. I think there's either white or yellow is, either white is for either it's white for employees or yellow for employees. I apologize for not knowing that for sure, but they do have designate certain areas in employee training for where they can park as well. So we can communicate that with Walmart that the town desires the rear parking that's being added there to be designated for employees only.
Great.
Have you
Well, this is a senior
analyzed the
trip.
whole site to make sure for the business use have adequate?
So what can be done with the seasonal items taking up parking spots? Because it's terrible. The whole north side, 3 lanes is taken up by seasonal goods.
Yes, Ruth had mentioned that to me, that every year Walmart does apply for a seasonal parking area conversion for sales, and it takes about 38 spaces. That's done annually. So I don't think we can be able to add any additional parking to this site.
I don't think they've ever come in for that ever.
Have you seen that?
Have you seen that?
Walmart has never
It's an annual.
take that parking area.
They do it annually.
For our office.
You do see it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
you weren't aware.
we didn't know that, we didn't see it.
I think that was a practice that was carried out before I got here.
Okay.
I adopted it.
Before I got here.
Is it when they come in, is there any analysis to make sure they have, when they take out 3 rows, that they have adequate parking?
It doesn't, it's not accompanied with an analysis plan.
But you could ask for that.
I believe there's 748 parking spaces that will be provided on this site.
And it's full a lot of times.
Take out those first 2 rows.
Fortunately, the grocery pickup area, people are not going to be parking there all day. They're going to swing in, call it in, get their groceries loaded, and they're going to leave. Like I said, some of them won't even get out of their car.
Yeah, so those spaces are not considered part of your total needed to satisfy the requirements of people that walk in and shop internally to the store, correct? Because you wouldn't allow or want somebody to park there and then walk into the store. They're gonna be designated and marked strictly for pickup only, correct?
They'll be designated as for the grocery store pickup lanes. We'll make sure that's included in either something on the striping, or if we need to add additional signage, we can probably do that.
Currently, that's what you have, but it's on the building wall, and they're actually numbered spaces, so when you arrive, you put in what space you're in to pick up from that space.
It seems to me, and I'm not an architect, but it seems to me an easy solution would be just to put a wall, if you come in off of Newberry Road, make a circle to go back out, and you cannot go to the west.
Segregated from the main lot.
Yeah, segregated, just put in a wall there, or whatever you have to put in there, and just make it like a U-turn, come in, pick up your stuff, go around, come back, come out Newberry Road.
I'm sure the fire marshal's
Yeah,
not gonna
that's
like
my
that.
first thought is fire marshal.
Fire marshal won't like it, I guess, huh?
Yeah, so.
Unless you did just a barrier chain or something like that.
Well-
For emergency purpose, they can get through there.
Len did review the plan.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm trying to figure out based on the comments is the concern, we don't think there's enough parking on the site, period, or is the concern we don't like the layout, or is the concern there's not enough parking dedicated to this pickup? Is it all, is it none? What is the actual sort of,
I think the concern is the shifting of the parking from in-store customers to pick up only, and the business changes such that that's what the demand is, and there's fewer customers in the store, it works. But if you maintain status quo, where parking is tight already, and you have a lot of spaces dedicated for pickup, and they're not used, you're shorting the parking, plus you have the 3 rows of garden stuff. Has an analysis been done that it can work?
You gotta admit, Mike, the 15 spots behind the building, nobody grocery shopping is gonna use it. Look at where you're gonna have to walk.
So,
What's to make an employee park?
Well,
That was a
I
good
understand.
suggestion.
I'm just, this seems to me like something related to just signage. So they don't have signage on those spots that says who needs to park there. In theory, if any person who wants to park in that corner of the property and walk in, they could. I mean, you got 800 parking spaces on the property, right? So there's a lot there, but
If those spaces, I thought the signage was gonna say
They're gonna
they're
have
for
signage.
pickup only.
There's signage.
So if you have too many people and not enough parking, and those are underutilized, can overflow parking use those spaces?
Signage, like Mike said, speed bumps through there. Or you know, double speed bumps, Mike?
Yeah,
Or
anything.
something to slow everybody down.
Or a stop bar or something, they say
We
that's
could,
a.
we could probably add some type of traffic calming in that area. But the parking spaces for the pickup area will be marked for the pickup of the online purchases.
So, looking at it from just the pure regulations and math, the general development plan calls for the 4 spaces per 1,000 square foot.
Okay.
Right, area, and they are meeting that by recalculated the whole square footage and come up, they're meeting the general development plan requirements by, as they propose, banking these 15 spaces. Right, so in theory, it's, if Walmart's not there one day, someone else needs to satisfy this requirement for parking, right? It's there, it's doable in some way. So the discussion is circling around that these will be there and what should be included, should we need to have those spaces. So I just want to put out there that they're not actually seeking a reduction in the requirement at this time. They're
No, that's correct.
That's all.
I guess the problem I think that I have is they're taking 34 spots and designating them pickup only. And then we're giving them another 38, but you know, on the other side to, and the place is packed a lot. There's a lot of traffic incidents there. There's a lot of problems going on. So I think personally, I would say, fine, you could designate these, but no more seasonal tying those spots up. Because they're basically tying up 60 some odd spots of parking. Over 60, almost 70 spots that are specifically either pickup or there's goods in it.
Prohibiting it, I would say, okay, you gotta do a traffic study and show us that you can give up those spaces.
Yeah,
But that would be part of the
The
application when they come in.
for the
That's
season.
right.
flag the seasonal.
Yeah.
Traffic assessment.
Yeah.
Would you prefer that we did some type of traffic study for the expansion and also for the seasonal parking?
For the expansion, Yeah.
I think we're meeting the requirements with the expansion. I think your issue is with this seasonal parking, it sounds like.
When you start putting all the things that go on the site together.
I would definitely love to see the utilization of that, that eastern entrance, the amount of traffic that comes through that eastern entrance. I think you'd be surprised at how heavily that drive out gets used.
You're gonna do a study, might as well do it
Yeah,
site-wide.
yeah.
I still don't know why you can't put up a chain link fence like they did at the Scannick.
Well, it's
And
something
have the
that-
fire department have a lock on it, so if they have to get through, they can get through. And that solves the whole damn problem. You go in, make a U-turn, come back out.
You know, people are so used to coming here and cutting through there.
They'll do it once.
They'll do it once.
That's it.
Yeah, but then you're totally eliminating those parking spots. 100%, right?
And I'm sure, like you
Oh,
said,
yeah.
your fire department wants to be able to fully go around the building. I don't know where the fire department connections are here, but I'm sure they want to have access to the entire building, front, sides, and back.
Slow them down from here, so
Well, they could come around
just
this way.
slow them down to that area, so that whoever Walmart employees crossing that way doesn't get killed.
So I have a basic question. What algorithm did Walmart use to say you're gonna need all these spots?
Square footage.
Yeah, that's our requirement.
Yeah, we're basing it on your requirements.
I think you mean the pickup
Yeah,
space.
Oh,
pick up.
pickup
Pick
space.
Oh, okay.
What kind of marketing? analysis?
Even that is based on your requirements. It's based on square footage.
No,
No,
the,
For a pickup,
for
My
the
question-
expanded service
They-
here.
My
They
question
base
is,
it off of their grocery sales and how much sales
why
they
is
do in their
Walmart
grocery business.
expanding? Is there a call for that? Do you have some kind of an algorithm throughout the country
Right.
that states that there's more and more people wanting pickup?
Versus going in the store.
So
Yeah,
they,
It's, seems to me.
this is a desire of Walmart customers to have the convenience and the safety of going to a designated area and picking up their groceries without having to go into the grocery store.
In other words, you're telling me there's a demand for this.
Yes.
we used it, I used it.
Well, I can see during the pandemic when people didn't want to make.
Yes,
those
but even now, after the pandemic, people are changing the way they shop.
Even seniors do that. It's easier for them to, not seniors, but people in their seventies or whatever, go online and put stuff in, single parent, with kids. They got 3 kids in the car, they go online, they send it, they back it up, they go on the groceries, they leave.
Yes,
It's a good
sir.
idea. Just need to slow people down in that area, I think.
It might
That's all.
be a problem. Have to look at it here. That's too much.
Is there more questions from the commission? Open it to the public. Okay, I'm going to ask if there's anyone in the room who would like to talk.
Sorry.
I would make a comment that I don't think the chain link fence is appropriate because tractor trailers go in through that one entrance there and they go out that way. If you close that off and they can't go through, they're gonna be coming through that whole parking lot on the other side. And that's just gonna create more of a traffic hazard. I wouldn't go with that. I think the idea that you're proposing that the 15 extra spaces are used for employees, that'll take care of that concern. But I think with the signage, because that area already is designated for drop off, and even though there's designated spots, people are still parking across the way now because there's not enough room. So at least now, if it's gonna be all market stuff, I think a lot of people will avoid that. So instead of driving in that lot and going completely to the building, you're gonna cut across the back side by the road instead and come down. Because like when I shoot in, if there's tractor trailers and stuff, I don't go by the building. I go take my immediate left turn and go around and come down around the backside of the parking lot.
Is there anybody online who?
And, and this is Peg. Was that Marie D'Souza?
Yes,
Yes.
it was, sorry.
I'm sorry, Matt.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else online that would like to speak on this application? don't see anybody else requesting to speak. So it seems to me we're not fully resolved on what the right traffic pattern and how to handle the safety on the site. And I guess we can put off the traffic analysis if you would like to be part of the permit for temporary use of parking spaces.
Yeah.
We'll have a seasonal, yes, or we can continue and let you do more work. You have a preference? Diana, did you have a preference on how we proceed?
Well, I would like, of course, for y'all to recommend approval of the amendment to the general plan to allow the expansion and to, like you said, look at the traffic analysis when that seasonal request for the parking change is made. And that's done annually, so that could change every year. I mean,
So, is there a way to write into the approval a traffic calming kind of concept at this point?
we could add, I think you could add a conditional approval that, you know, we add some traffic calming device on that 24-foot wide aisle to slow the traffic. I don't know what Walmart uses now, but they might be able to put some kind of traffic calming device in there, speed bump or something, additional striping. We'd be willing to look into that and do that.
Can I ask just a question, because I don't cut through any of these parking areas. I follow the directions, but if I'm coming, I'm jumping. No, so just so I can understand, if I come in that driveway and I want to, and I'm going to shop at the store, I'm going to come in that entrance and I'm going to take a left.
Yeah.
Once the building is built, I don't have two options anymore. I only have one. So if I make that first left, I go along the tractor trailer that's shown there, and I come to the end where that green traffic island is. What's my next move?
You can go straight or right.
Well, I know
Right.
where, you can go either way, but if I'm using the site and I'm trying to cut through, am I more likely to go straight or am I more likely to go right?
Right.
Right.
So could they simply modify the shape of that island so you cannot turn right there? Because if it takes you longer to cut through that section than to go to that next curb, you won't.
Well, the issue is slowing the traffic down where the pickup's at, because they're coming across that walkway right there, the employees. People are
Well, they can
backing
put a
in.
stop sign there.
What you also have is when people are exiting out of the main parking
They
lot,
fly out that
they
way.
come down here and this becomes the drag strip out to get out to that exit.
Yeah.
And they really, they'll do 30 miles an hour through here.
Anybody who lives in Broadbrook or this way goes that way.
Yeah, we all go that way.
That's probably,
We
this
go
is,
in that
this
way,
is,
too.
this is kind of a long straight.
Straight
way.
That's like the back door for us getting in there.
So if they put a stop sign on
Something.
either side of that employee walk, so that you had to come to a stop there,
That would help.
Yes.
Well, there
it
is
just has to be slow enough to not be worth your time.
To
You hit a
speed
stop
up.
sign, you hit a car backing out one
Yeah.
time.
You got to stop here. We don't have anything here. I don't know that, you know, that you want to
that drive
stop
aisle there.
too close to the entrance there. That could be an issue because then you're going to have someone rear end somebody.
What's that? You also have employees loading cars on the backside in the drive aisles and the. So what if they don't back in, somebody pulls it, and you got employees, they're not
They're
gonna,
standing in that
they're
aisle.
standing in the drive aisle trying to load a car.
Who's gonna back it? Jim?
Well, I know that, not that side, but the other side.
I mean, now people
You're
back
going-
up to the building and they're on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna be standing on the drive aisle.
Yeah, who's gonna, yeah. And on the street side, nobody's
Mhm.
backing in on the street
No,
side.
I think they won't, absolutely not. Because there's no curb, there's no place.
Speed
for
bumps
them
and
to go.
stop signs might help. I think speed bumps and stop signs would help.
Okay.
We're hung up on how many spots are there. regardless of they're in the back of the building or what, as long as they're in compliance, they're in compliance,
Right.
and I guess that's,
And if they have a back door to the building, so the employees don't have to
and,
walk all the way around.
and
it
I
can
guess,
work.
Do we need photometrics for that area?
Yeah, they do.
Well,
Hundred two photometric.
doesn't cover that area.
Which is back.
Where the, yes,
and I guess
The
we're
photometrics are in
Come on.
compliance.
hung up on how many
where the
spots.
added 15 spaces are going?
No, we have not added a light there, but your other requirements for photometric lighting have been met. You can't bleed over the property line and that kind of thing. So
Right, but now if you're adding 15 spaces there, you need.
we're gonna have to shield the light there. If we're gonna add a light there.
I think there's no light. I think there is a light right at the dock.
Well, that's at
I'm
the
sure there's lighting on the building. There's got to be for security.
In the middle of that drive aisle. I think that looks like a light to me.
But that's 30, 40 feet away.
No, it's right.
Can you zoom in the drawing?
No, I
Where the
agree.
15
I think
spaces
it's right
are.
there.
Full lights there.
There's a light right here. Is what that looks like. So that would be.
This right here looks like.
Right there, can you
Yeah.
zoom- can you zoom that in?
I can see the flex.
So while we're trying to figure out the lighting, I guess we're just hung up on, is there enough spots? But really, if Walmart decides they want to fill their spots with seasonal goods, they're only inconveniencing their customers. Really, what are,
Yeah, I mean, the spots are physically there.
They're there.
So if they're blocking,
well,
if people don't have a place to park, they won't shop, they'll leave.
That's
right,
exactly
that's on
right.
them, not on
And
us.
theoretically, they want what's in there in those 38 spaces.
Right,
Yeah.
so what, as long as they're meeting the regulation, then
Right,
I guess we don't care what they're doing,
how they're using it.
how they're using it, because. Okay,
Like you said, if the next customer, next tenant takes the building, the spots are there.
And right now, these people are parking all throughout the site. So they're gonna free up all those spaces where the traditional customer is going to shop, because now they're gonna be focused in one area.
Correct.
And briefly
You know-
there, they won't be there very long. Like people who want to shop in the store are going to be there for an hour. These people are going to be there for 15 minutes.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the only concern that I had was for your safety of your employees crossing that drive aisle with knowing how quickly people come through there. So,
Yes, and
So
it's appreciated.
because they won't be watching, they'll have their backs to it because they'll be loading cars.
Right. And these will probably be new employees also. I mean, we are creating some jobs here for y'all.
So what can we, I mean, do you honestly think we can wordsmith this or they need to add something to the drawing for the traffic barriers?
in condition 5, five plants, because it's a with all necessary revisions. So it's always written as if plans are gonna be revised. That's after, right? Any necessary revisions, so.
Okay, but then we need to come to a consensus as to what exactly they're gonna do. And that's-
It stops traffic flow. You put a gate there, you stop their
Are
traffic
you
flow.
thinking of a word, some wording?
Thinking, I can't think of my brain, so.
Oh, you're thinking of your fingers?
So what if we ask them to make that crosswalk raised?
Oh, like a dual purpose?
Hmm,
A raised crosswalk
what a stop sign.
with two stop,
So
with
it's
stop
like,
signs.
so it's like a bump, you have to
Mhm.
drive over.
A speed table is what they would really call it, right? You come
Okay.
up, your level, so that would be where they would cross.
Mhm.
And that would stop people.
Would
from
slow
going
them
through
down.
really.
And
And it would be level, right? So there's no shopping carts rolling off to the left or right.
You have to come down eventually.
Well, it would come right through, yeah, but it would also bring the pedestrian up 6 or 8 inches, right? So it
So
makes
they
it
got
easier
better
to see.
visibility.
Yeah.
Right. I think you would really want to do some type of traffic analysis before you did that, because like I said, you could be potentially causing more harm than good by, having someone speeding through there and all of a sudden it's a 6-inch by, 8-foot walkway and their car is gonna start flying,
How's it good speeding?
I mean, we're fine with that, but then we can't make a decision until we get the results of the analysis then. That's the way you want to,
Or a proposal
Proceed.
from Walmart on how they want to solve it.
I mean, we might be able to contact Walmart and their engineers might have some traffic information with regards to, any traffic calming devices that they've used in the past that have been successful or not successful in their parking lots. I just, my own experience is telling me that could be a danger area.
So what you want to do is continue to our next meeting.
I don't want to table it if at all possible. I mean, we're on a tight timeline already and, we've tried to bring this forward before. I'd like to get some type of conditional approval if at all possible.
You can write something. It's conditional and
But we.
Do a straw vote.
sign the Mylars.
But once we close
do a
this,
straw
then
vote.
we don't have a say in how they propose their traffic limiting device.
just do a straw vote of the board, because I don't think the board's gonna vote on anything tonight. Doesn't,
Or we can vote if you want.
no, I'm just saying, I mean,
Okay, we'll just ask the question,
Yeah.
are people comfortable with a condition as she proposes that it's,
No, I want to see what you want to do.
okay,
I'm not happy.
No.
so
we need,
Okay, so if you're not comfortable, then yes, I would ask that you table it until we can get some type of better parking traffic pattern provided to you that would make y'all feel more comfortable with it.
then
Is the next meeting enough time for you?
When is your next meeting?
26th.
26th of this month?
Correct.
May I ask, what are you going to do to make us comfortable?
Just so she's gonna talk to their engineers.
So to see what, what can we put installed for some type of traffic calming devices there that would be safe. But that's my big concern, just like I said, from my past experience. Putting a traffic hump or something like that is not always safe. It does slow people down, but it also causes accidents. People are going too fast.
My question is, what are you gonna do to make us happy? Knowing I hope you know our concerns, so what are you gonna do?
Yes, I hear your concerns. And so that's why I want to talk to some traffic engineers to see what they've done in the past that has been successful and that we could present to you.
okay, well, I think motion,
So is the 26th adequate enough time for you to?
That's only like 2 weeks away.
After that, the meeting would then go to May 10th.
I would like to be on your agenda for the 26th. And if I can't make that agenda with enough information, would it be possible for me to be on the May 10th agenda?
Yes.
But like I said, I know our client we're behind on this project and they want to move forward.
it's like a motion is in order.
oh, yeah, May 10th is our referendum here. What do we do when this room's not down? Okay,
I'll make a motion that we continue the public hearing of application PZ 2022-01 for the amendment to the general development plan of 44 Prospect Hill Road, Walmart Building, expansion modification of site to create an online order pickup area until our next meeting, which will be April 26th.
There a second to that motion?
second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous.
Thank you very much for your time this evening. I appreciate it. You had very good questions, and I apologize for all the background noise with the mowing and the dogs.
All right.
Okay. Now we have old business, PZ 2022-3, 298 South Main Street. It's a site plan review for new construction for auto sales. The applicant has been before us and now has variance with conditions from the ZBA. Would the engineer like to update us?
Yes, for the record, I'm the engineer for the project, Robert Arsenault. And if you'd like, I can go ahead and share my screen. If you recall, what we're looking at is 0.53 acres in the B2 zone for an auto repair and sales, 1,500 square foot building with associated parking. One of the items that came up the last time we were here had to do with the buffer, the requirement for a buffer, which I'll show you this map. This is the map we use to get the variance from Zoning Board of Appeals. This map shows the 100-foot buffer and then a 50-foot buffer. And both of these pretty much render the property unusable. So what we proposed was a 15-foot buffer with a fence, which shown in red here is actually a solid vinyl 6-foot high fence, which is what the requirement, what they required as far as granting the ZBA variance. Also, on top of that, what we also did, and Mr. Prasad wanted to be, a good neighbor, and there was some concerns with the neighbors to the south, because the town of South Windsor, the only thing they required was a row of arborvitaes along here. So what we've done too is we are going to be adding, or we have added, that 6-foot fence, vinyl fence along this side too, so that they'll be shielded along with the arborvitae. So it'll be shielded from on the south side with the fence, and also on the north side with the fence. So basically, the site plan is exactly the way it was the last time you saw it, other than those two fences being added and the ZBA variance. We also received the wetlands approval just two days ago for the property. Now, as far as the last meeting, there were a couple of outstanding questions that were asked. One had to do with whether there's going to be any body work and car painting, that kind of thing in the facility. And I discussed it with Mr. Prasad. He can actually discuss it more if you want him to, but he contracts that away from here. He does not do that on site. That kind of work is done by a separate contractor at a separate location. And also,
Just muted. Bob, you're muted.
Yeah.
how's that?
Yeah, okay.
Was I muted the whole time?
No, that was-
We got you up until also.
Okay, sorry about that. So I'm not sure where I left off, but
We said the wetlands has been approved.
yeah, wetlands has been approved.
How about the fire marshal and
You started saying that there were some questions from the last time you were here. That's.
Yeah. Yes, one of the questions was whether he was going to be doing any body work and painting.
We heard that
Yes,
part.
we heard that.
Okay, well, he's not going to be doing that.
Right.
All right. The other thing was, as far as architectural elevations, you wanted a little bit more information, and possibly breaking up the site or the building. What he's proposing is the bottom 3 feet. It's a metal building. The bottom 3 feet would be like a dark brown, and then the remainder of the building would be like a beige color. The only reason this doesn't show a front door is because the people that design the buildings don't provide doors, pedestrian doors. This is going to be a double glass door. This is where the people will be entering the site.
Do you have an architectural rendering to show us? Because we need to see that.
I thought you can't see this right now?
We're still on the site plan.
Site view.
Okay, hold on.
Front, back, side.
You may have to stop your share and then initiate a new share with the.
Okay, that's what I'll do. Hold on. How's that?
Yeah, got it.
Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, it's going to be a two-tone building, metal building, dark brown on the bottom, 3 feet, and then beige on the top. This will be the pedestrian. This is the front of the building. This is where the pedestrian entrance will be. There'll be a double glass door in this location. And then obviously these are overhead doors. And then this shows the rear of the building. This is the garage door in the rear, and then the same 3 garage doors on the sides.
No other ped doors at all on the building?
I'm sorry, what was that?
No other pedestrian doors on the building at all?
Actually, he is going to have a pedestrian door on the, let me go back to the site plan if I could. Let me stop sharing this. And then I'll go back to the site plan.
Fire egress, you gotta go with the big door.
No, it's just showing us now.
Yeah, there's going to be a couple of pedestrian doors on this south side. For emergency access, that kind of stuff, or an entrance or exit, emergency exit. But what he's trying to do is get whoever is coming into the facility to use just the front door. So this would be for customers coming in here. And then there'll be a couple of doors in the back, but that's just basically emergency exit from the building, if needed.
Employees will be entering them through the front also?
Yes, the pedestrian, the employees would be going through the front door or the overhead doors when they're opened. That's where they would go. As far as the parking goes, I know there was a question as far as parking. We have 11 spaces here and then another one here for 12, but we're also proposing 3 spaces here, which do meet your zoning as far as being 10 feet away from the building. And there's still a 24-foot aisle between these spaces and what would be here. Because what he does is he has customers come in for work to have work done. They would park here. And then also he's got the 4 spaces out front for display of cars that he's going to be selling. So basically we've got, quite a bit of parking, he feels, and we feel that is adequate for this particular site. And like I said, we've gotten all the other approvals that we needed, the ZBA and wetlands and so forth. So we're looking for you tonight is for an approval of the site plan.
Did you get the fire marshal's approval concerning emergency vehicle access?
Well, I'm pretty sure that the fire marshal, I thought, signed off on the plan.
I spoke with him this afternoon. He didn't have any concerns with that.
Yeah.
Okay. And
So-
has the building facade picture been submitted to the town?
No, but we will get those to you. I can get those to you. I just got those. So
What's the material on the bottom portion of the facade?
it's going to be all metal. Arvin, do you want to explain a little bit about the building?
So the whole structure is metal Galvalume. The difference in the colors is just gonna be for the first 36 inches at the bottom, there's gonna be a burgundy color, then there's gonna be a black trim, and then the cobblestone for the rest of it from first 36 inch to the top. So essentially, it's going to be three colors: the burgundy at the bottom, 36 inches burgundy, a 2-inch black trim, and then the rest of it is going to be a beige color, which is called cobblestone for technicality.
Don't we usually require, I'll call it stone kind of or cement looking?
You have.
No, the name of the color is cobblestone, but it's a beige.
No, the material used isn't usually solid metal.
They're gonna be solid steel
Sort of
panels.
textural.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
textural relief.
Architectural, something, either reshapes or stucco foundation.
It's cited in the memo section.
900.3 F5.
It doesn't talk about material, it just says will be in general harmony with the character.
The other
of
automotive
surrounding neighborhood.
Businesses on Route 5 approved. Do they have the dual material?
I'm looking.
It's
Um,
it's kind of the right. 5 automotive corridor.
Would you like me to display the architecturals again?
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this bottom part, as he said, would be burgundy with some black trim and then beige for the top.
So for 198, it was the plan shall be revised so that the front elevation facing up Main Street shall be constructed with a split face textured facade.
It's the texture and it's only the side facing the street.
Right.
30 feet across the front, take out the doors.
Oh, there it is. I was just looking for that picture.
Yeah. Because we talked during that application about what they could do on a metal building.
Right. Require them to put balance in or that's on
Where?
front of the doors.
No, it would be fire marshal.
Fire marshal.
Well, balance for asset
I
protection.
don't think the fire marshal. I don't think he cares if you park in front of the door as long as there's a fire line.
So I have a question. I've never seen parking counted in front of the doors. Never seen that ever.
My question.
Yeah, and they weren't striped with the first set of plans, but I would say that
So go ahead.
the amount, the number of spaces required based on the regulations is 9.
So you got 11 on the side.
Yeah,
You don't even need those 3 in front of the doors.
Haven't we gone down a rabbit hole tonight about parking? Can we let it go?
But I
No,
think that's
just want to make sure we're even for everybody.
I think we have to be consistent with that.
Consistent.
the facade
Yeah.
and it's only that one side. So I think what we're saying is other people have been required to use dual materials on the street side.
Okay,
and that's not what you proposed, would you be amenable to the dual material? So it has more architectural appeal.
Would stone veneers be acceptable for the face of the building for the first
Yes.
6 inches? Yeah, we will be okay with that.
What about sidewalks?
36 inches high enough to be seen.
They don't show on the plans.
Yeah, we do have a walk. It's this,
Oh, you do? No, street sidewalks,
Oh.
not entrance sidewalks.
the street, I mean sidewalks along the roadway?
Yeah.
No, we didn't show that. No, we weren't proposing
We
that.
require them on every
Subdivisions.
subdivision. Just on subdivisions, not on commercial buildings.
We haven't required them on any of the properties on Route 5 because there are no sidewalks. I don't think, yeah, there's no not building towards anything, and I don't think the state has any intention of doing sidewalks there. We talked about that with Silverman.
So, what about Newbury?
No, but I'm thinking about 140, because we talked about it with the dental
Mhm.
place, and they had paid fee in lieu of previously. And Noble Gas has sidewalks.
And the building on Newbury Road, the new building going up towards the end. Sidewalks there.
Yeah.
The Breck, no,
No.
you waived in Breck for some reason. Maybe because it was an addition. Well,
Yeah, I don't.
yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that one you told them sidewalks or money in the law. So why is this different? For 5?
Well, it would be in the states right away.
Well, so is Noble.
Are they in the right of way? Are they far, are they out?
Nobles, now they're close to the road. And then what are you doing for the car wash? The car wash got approved, I would imagine they're putting sidewalks there, right?
Calamar.
If Calmar has it.
Is this a subdivision?
Well,
Subdivision.
Yeah, that's where I
Listed
think of
in the
it as.
commercial development.
Well, it's we talked about it because it is in the regs.
Right.
But there's a sidewalk. Talks about what makes sense.
Every development in East Windsor involving construction of a new building containing more than 1,000 square feet of gross area will make provisions for sidewalks.
Which section is that?
606,
606.
access management.
And is that enabled to be in lieu of?
Yeah.
Site sidewalk.
And I think it's recommendation.
Yeah, being a road installation.
Was 70%. 70. That was the memo sent.
So
They have to be.
So it seems like for consistency's sake, we need to add the sidewalk provision to this.
But I don't believe there's any sidewalks in that area.
There's an option to pay a fee in lieu of.
Where would the sidewalks be? On his site or in the state right away? Because the state would then have to approve that.
Yeah, if he opts to do the sidewalk. At this point, we don't have a draft motion, do we? Because we have
No.
no outstanding things, so it seems to me we need to get the architectural renderings for the record.
Changing it now to the facade that's
Right.
proposing.
And we need to address the sidewalks and then take it up at the next meeting.
Could, I hate to bring this up now, but I'm gonna be going in for back surgery in about a week. And I'm gonna be out for a few weeks. Is it possible to get a motion to approve with those conditions that he resubmit an architectural elevation for the front of the building and we check into the sidewalk situation?
What are you proposing? Are you gonna put in the sidewalk?
Are you
I'm sorry.
proposing to pay the fee?
It seems to be the fee in lieu of would probably be the easiest solution because we'd have to get the state involved.
And then the question comes for the staff, could we draft something? Right, or is that not a reasonable request? I mean,
So it would be in the sidewalks and the revised architectural.
Yeah,
No other. Yeah, and I think we did.
you just add those into the motion and the rest is standard.
I can probably
Pull
pull-
up the one that we just had.
Which one?
Well, that's not- but whatever, maybe the one for both.
I was just gonna start from when we were just looking at this one. Just like 198.
198 was the one that we gave. One is really got to
I have more question. What about your budding neighbors to the north? Has anybody come in or said anything or,
Yes, at ZBA.
oh,
At ZBA, we had interested parties.
Yeah.
Had, what do I have this note? We had a neighbor that was to the rear and representing the other neighbor to the south.
Correct.
So there, and a couple of folks who live in the mobile home park to the north. They came and they came late because they sat for Board of Finance for a long time. So, but they did sit with the applicant's attorney and chat about the development. They were satisfied with the fence.
check.
So other than a motion, do we have to add conditions?
Yes, and Mike is, he's formatting an existing one to fit this
Okay.
application. We need hold music.
Play anything in the world. Services I've got.
Staff. Standard conditions.
So we can do on the fly.
Yeah. Continual improvement.
Well, I thought this one wasn't ready to go. based
Me
on the
too.
memo, so-
Yeah, that's where we were, so
We have photometrics for this. Right.
we do, they're built into the plan set. Ones that get accepted. Hear ye, hear ye.
Nice and big, so we
These are
can see them.
received. These are received tonight.
Oh.
Courtesy of.
These are the- they're all- the ones that they want.
The copier only made big shape.
Well,
Broke?
no. Wasn't on, they didn't go back to the quote. So Katrina came back into the department with her head hung low.
by 17.
But we call this the Reader's Digest Large Print Edition.
Very nice.
But we weren't gonna recycle it.
You can see from there. Oh, nice kennels.
And it's a survey.
So those,
That's
Whoa.
had, gotten a building permit
Nice.
to build the kennel. And one of the conditions of his approval for zoning permit was to come in, if he's gonna have more. So he's getting ready to. Big litter. And so he wants
oh, you have
get
to
it-
do puppies. Puppies
Well, when
count
he's
in
gonna
the-
keep them.
Oh,
So he wanted to make sure he had the appropriate permit.
So the structure's already in place.
Yes.
All right.
And now here come the dogs.
Let me see if I can.
That's a residential neighborhood.
Maybe its own chicken coop.
Did you guys indicate, so auto body and paint is not happening on the property, correct?
That's correct.
I should probably join.
Let's see what they want to do. It doesn't matter.
Oh, it's on the way out.
so how many dogs can you have before you have to be a kennel?
Until somebody complains.
Chickens.
That's how that usually works.
Can you, let me in? Okay. I don't-
Oh.
A lot of work for a mailbox.
Okay.
I can't imagine what this costs just for a mailbox.
All right, you guys ready to follow me on this? We can
Absolutely.
crank through this. So we'll just go through and see. I pulled this from previous approval from the same use. So prior to the issuance, submission of final plans, copy of this approval motion has been incorporated into the plans. Copy of the final approved plans, necessary revisions shall be submitted to the Planning and Development Office. All final plans submitted for signature shall require a seal and live signature of the appropriate professionals. The conditions of this approval shall be binding upon the applicant, landowners, and their successors and signs. The plan shall be revised as follows: to indicate that the front building wall facing South Main Street will be constructed with a split face textured facade, and a copy of the variance issued by the East Windsor Zoning Board of Appeals shall be incorporated. Those were the only two outstanding, right? Those are the only two. Or was there a third? Well, the, yeah, we'll get to that. That was the, as far as revisions.
So.
So prior to the issuance of any permits, we need a PDF copy of the plan. We'll have to get a zoning permit, E&S bond, and a fee in lieu of sidewalks has been provided, subject to review by the town engineer. And I'm gonna say.
New construction company LLC. Do you have auto sales? New construction company LLC.
Conditions prior to the issuance of certificate of compliance, final grading. One electronic copy of the final Mylar. These are your standard conditions for site plan within 1 year of approval. Project should be constructed in accordance with final plans. Any modifications to drainage, go to the town engineer. Additional erosion control measures may be required by town staff. Yeah, they are providing the town with the right to inspect the property during the project. The approval granted by the easements or inland wetlands. Did you guys, they go to inland wetlands? Yep. It's hereby incorporated into this approval. And then I added auto body and or vehicle painting activities shall not be conducted on site without prior approval by the commission.
Did I miss when I was looking at the name of the sidewalk?
That's 9.
9, okay.
A fee in lieu of sidewalks has been provided
Yeah.
subject to, so that will be prior to the issuance of a permit.
Okay.
Anything you think we missed?
Good job for on the fly.
Well, we've just gone through these enough. I'm not thinking this up with my mind.
You should.
Okay. We have
It's in 22. So it's probably when it's full. The plan.
No, I'm really.
Okay, so now I didn't mean it.
Because you have up here also add. Yeah, it's in- that's the section. This is the memo.
I'll take my glasses off.
You can make it in.
Right.
Don't say it. It's opportunity, you guys really appreciate it. Right.
Yeah, you can read it. You know, it's at least you can read it. The Walmart ones you can't read. You know.
Because I'm blind, deaf.
What is that? How does that look? Site plan application construct the transfer for commercial use. Cars for vehicle repair and sales, associated site improvements. Reconstruction company LLC applicant. Marshal. Does that make sense? Which, it's not that it's, you should just make sure that they don't see anything that they have an issue with before we actually memorialize this.
for the applicant. We have a draft motion on the screen. Are you okay with what has been drafted?
Yes.
Okay. Any further discussion by the commission? Okay, then a motion to approve based on Mike's draft motion would be in order.
Make a motion to approve PZ 2022-03, 298 South Main Street site plan application to construct a new 1,500 square foot commercial use with cars for vehicle sales, vehicle repairs and sales, associated site improvements as stated in the motion with conditions 1 through, how many we got, Michael?
18.
1 through 18.
Okay, is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Okay, that's unanimous. It's approved.
Okay, thank you.
I see we have no new business, no other business, no correspondence, no business meeting, no executive session, so a motion to adjourn will be in order.
Make a motion that we adjourn.
Is there a second to that?
Second.
Oh, second. I didn't think I was here long.
I didn't make it
Fred,
record.
seconded by
I didn't
Joe.
think.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous. We're adjourned.
I didn't think I was here long enough to make motions or seconds them or nothing.